Olathe Directors Jazz Band. These are our very own teachers. They're so talented, I think they got together for about 20 minutes and rehearsed for this. Aren't they amazing? Now, it's my pleasure to introduce our celebrity MC, Channel 9 meteorologist Joel Nichols. Joel is no stranger to our district. He's had previous experience as our Convocation MC. He's a frequent guest speaker at our schools, and he actually volunteered to help with one of our Channel 18 promotional videos. Let's take a look.
You're watching Channel 18, where I look much older and grayer than I do in Channel 9.
Whoops. Okay, let's try that again. Let's look at that promotional video.
We interrupt your current programming to bring you this important information alert. Nothing to be alarmed about, but Johnson County is now being covered by the newly expanded Channel 18.
One thing that I didn't realize until this year is that Joel began his career with a degree in education, and he's been a Channel 9 anchor, weather anchor, feature reporter, and host of the interview program Afterwards at KMBC TV since 1988. He's also an active supporter of many area charities, including the Jared Coons Foundation, which has ties to our district. And he teaches broadcasting at Johnson County Community College. Let's give a big Convocation cheer for Joel Nichols.
Well, thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here and be a part of the Convocation again this year. And I never watch myself on TV, so that was kind of exciting and nauseating all at the very same time. Channel 9's moving into a new building, and so they've got this TV high definition, and so they're warning everybody, especially us older people on the air, that you're going to look even worse. You know, it's like the picture of Dorian Gray where, you know, in the closet somewhere. So I had to go in there for my little makeup session the other day where they show you exactly how to do that and how to look better on a big important television screen like that than you possibly can. And it's not too bad, although I've got two little things on my forehead. I've got a little scar on my forehead that I got when one of my brothers was throwing a rock and it hit me right in the forehead when I was a little kid. It's not that funny, so please. But I got hit right in the head, and he claimed he was just trying to skip rocks at the lake. We were visiting Death Valley at the time, so that never made sense to me. Then I've got right next to it this little, it's like a little bump. It's not really anything, it's just a little bump. But when you put it on HD, it looks like you need a Sherpa to get from one side to the other. So make sure you watch Channel 9 as we get into the fall, and you go, yuck, look at that. But it is a pleasure to be here. I did this about 4 years or 5 years in a row, and then Laura Lee would call me and say, hey, when are you taking vacation? And I'd tell her, and then she'd schedule it for that period, so I'd be out of town. And I've seen other people do this now over the last couple of years. I watch on Channel 18, and I saw Phil Witt do it one year, and Don Harmon did it one year. And I don't know why you'd want nice, healthy, thin, handsome TV people when you can have me. I just don't understand that at all. But it is a pleasure to be back and be a small part of the Convocation today. And we're going to begin with some very important ceremonial duties here. Our presentation of the national colors by the Olathe Police Department Honor Guard under the command of Officer Brian Little, Deputy Guard Commander. Then we will be led in the Pledge of Allegiance by Garrett Crum. Garrett is a sophomore in aerospace and engineering here at Olathe Northwest. He's completed his requirements to become an Eagle Scout, and he'll present the Boy Scouts, or represent the Boy Scouts rather, in honor of the recent 100th anniversary of Scouting in the world. So you have stood. We now have the presentation of the colors.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Garrett, very much. Please remain standing. We have a few words from Dr. Ahl.
I want us to take a little time here to reflect on our school district family. As many of you may be sadly aware, one of our Olathe East graduates, Army Private First Class Matt Murchison, class of 2004, was recently killed in Iraq. Matt also attended school beginning in 4th grade at Indian Creek Elementary and then Pioneer Trail Junior High. We would like to have a moment of silence to honor his sacrifice to our country and let his family know that we share their grief. We've also lost other members of our school district family this year. We mourn the passing of Cheryl Alberg, 5th grade teacher at Brome, and Wendell Mason, a 15-year staff member of our grounds crew. I know some of you in here have suffered losses during this past year. At this time, I'd like us to take a few moments of silence to honor and remember these individuals. Thank you.
And now to sing the national anthem, please welcome our soloist, a member of the Honor Guard, a graduate of Olathe North High School, Corey Ross.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you very much. We're going to welcome some special guests today, the school district's business partners, our seniors serving schools, retired district employees, youth friend volunteers, future teachers of Olathe members, high school students, many parent volunteers who help make the school such a great and welcoming place to be, as well as the sponsors and the door prize donors as well. Our sponsors this year are CBIZ, Laidlaw Transit, Credit Union of Johnson County, Olathe Medical Center Foundation, Olathe National Education Association, Olathe Public Schools Foundation, and the State Farm Insurance Harlan C. Parker Insurance Agency. Let's give all our sponsors, business partners, volunteers, special guests a big round of applause. It is also a great honor to introduce the Olathe Board of Education, and as I introduce you, if you would stand and remain standing, and we'll name as many board members as we can, and then give a round of applause there. First, Mr. Kevin Gilmore, President, Ms. Rita Ashley, Vice President, and members Jim Churchman, Deborah Daniels, Harlan Parker, Mike Poland, and Linda Wilhelm. Olathe Board of Education, please stand, and we will honor you. Thank you for being here. And we have a number of elected officials with us as well from the Olathe City Council and the cities of Lenexa and Overland Park as well, the Johnson County Commission and the Kansas Legislature. We're honored to have you all here. Would you please stand so we can acknowledge your presence, give you a round of applause as well, please. Okay, it is time for some prizes. Sir Laura Lee, let's do the first round of prizes here. You have to be present to win, and you can pick up your prize in the Flex Theater across the hall at the end of the program. Here we go.
Every Door Prize winner will also receive gift certificates from Chipotle and Culver's of Olathe.
Yahoo!
Our first prize is named the Shop the Day Away Prize, a $100 gift certificate from the Supply Closet, a $100 Visa card from Commerce Banks of Olathe, and a $25 gift certificate from Sisters in Spirit. And the winner is Annette Johnson, a teacher of deaf, hard of hearing at Harmony Early Childhood Center.
Okay, congratulations. Next, our next prize is the Invest in Money Prize, a $100 savings bond from Security Savings Bank, and the winner, John Cervetti, Chisholm Trail Junior High Spanish teacher. Congratulations. Now we have a dinner theater package. 4 tickets to the new theater from Penwell Gable Funeral Home. You can arrive in style with a weekend free rental of the Ford Edge, courtesy of Olathe Ford. The winner of this wonderful weekend of theater and driving is Michelle Haley from Rolling Ridge Elementary.
And if you look outside on the south side of the building, there's 2 beautiful Ford Edges parked out there. You can take a look. I want to remind you that we'll also be awarding the Spirit Award. Our judges have been observing to see which school groups showed the greatest convocation spirit in their special attire this year. The winners will be announced in Infolethe and a special prize delivered to the school or schools this week, donated by Capital Federal Savings to celebrate your school spirit.
All right. Thank you, Laura Lee. We have more prizes coming up, so stay tuned. You might win something. Convocation is the one time of year when all district employees have the opportunity to hear from the elected Board of Education. And it is my pleasure to introduce the Board of Education President, Mr. Kevin Gilmore, who has served on the board for 6 years, just elected for a second year as president, longtime district supporter, proud parent of a freshman at California Trail and 2 graduates of Olathe East. Please welcome Mr. Kevin Gilmore.
Well, good morning, everyone. It's great to be here this morning and to see all of our Olathe School District family and members of our community together here in this one place. Convocation is always a special time of year for all of us. I know our Board of Education has already been individually introduced, but before I bring all of my remarks, I just want to once again recognize them and let you know that I serve with 6 of the most selfless and encouraging and dedicated school board members that our district has seen. And would you please join me in thanking them once again for their service? On behalf of our Board of Education, let me simply and sincerely say welcome and thank you for another school year that we all know are going to involve many challenges, but also many opportunities and accomplishments. We know it will also be one of meeting high expectations and fulfilling our vision of students prepared for their future. I also want to say a special welcome to the more than 200 new educators and other new district personnel who are joining us this year for the first time. You're now part of a tremendous tradition and history here in our community, and we're honored that you've chosen to join our Olathe School District family. Does anybody remember my reply to all speech from last year? Dr. All has told me she holds me personally responsible for the need to replace her equipment in her office. Well, I did not expect to be in this position 2 years in a row, so I'm not sure I'm going to be able to top that speech from last year. But my family and I was struggling with what do I say, how do I top that? Everybody's been challenging me, how are you going to top that? I said, I don't think I can. But my family and I were on vacation this past week, and just before we left town, I was running some errands and listening to a local radio station in my car, and one of the DJs reminded everyone it was back to school time. And he said, in honor of that, he said, I have a list of rules and responsibilities for teachers that I wanted to read to you. I thought, well, this ought to be interesting. And then he said, it dates back to 1872. Well, I couldn't pull my car over and start writing this stuff down. I thought this will be good stuff. So after a few clicks of a search on the internet, I was able to come up with what he was reading. And so I was asking Mr. Spots if we voted on contracts yet. He said next week, so we won't put these rules and regulations in there. Just relax. From 1872, rules for teachers. Are you ready for it? Number 1, teachers each day will fill lamps and clean chimneys. Number 2, each teacher will bring a bucket of water and a scuttle of coal for the day's session. This is interesting. Men teachers may take one evening each week for courting purposes. Now, wait a minute, I'm not done. It says you can take 2 evenings a week if you go to church regularly. After 10 hours in school, the teachers may spend the remaining time reading the Bible and other good books. After 10 hours. This one is very interesting. Women teachers who marry or engage in unseemly conduct will be dismissed. Remember, educators, you're voting on contracts next week. The teacher who performs his labor faithfully and without fault for 5 years will be given an increase of 25 cents per week in his pay, providing the Board of Education approves. Well, last year our theme for Convocation and for our school year was Dare to Dream, so I think it's safe to say that our Board of Education is not going to dare to dream to try to touch those rules again that I just read. I'm grateful our board and our district is very forward-thinking. Our past is important to us, and we must learn from it. But I heard it once said that if we constantly keep our focus on the past, then we have our backs turned towards the future, turned away from the future. But this year's theme is Invest in Excellence. So what does that mean? Well, unlike what was available at the turn of the century where I read those rules from, just a few clicks of my mouse on my computer brought up a thesaurus for my word processing program, and this is what was shown as synonyms for the word invest: to spend, to put in, to devote, to advance, to provide or supply, and to empower, to authorize, and to arm. And you can think of all the ways in which you will do that this year. And then excellence means fineness or brilliance, distinction, quality, and merit. And then the last thing it said, which I thought was the most poignant, was it's the opposite of mediocrity. And that's what we're about in this district, excellence. All of those terms describe what our Board of Education believes we're about and why we've chosen Dr. All to lead our district. Investing in excellence is not just an emphasis for this year, but it's especially important for this year as our board continues its strategic planning for the future of our district. In everything that we do as a board, and through all of you as the great army of educators and staff who make it happen every day in the classroom and in our school facilities, let it be in keeping with the need to invest in excellence so that we can fulfill our mission of educated students prepared for their future. In closing, I have 2 quotes I'd like to read for you. One is from the great football coach Vince Lombardi, who said, "The quality of a person's life is in direct proportion to their commitment to excellence, regardless of their chosen field of endeavor." And the second quote is from Aristotle, the great philosopher, who said, "Excellence is an art won by training and habituation. We do not act rightly because we have virtue or excellence, but we rather have those because we have acted rightly. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit." Thank you in advance for the many habits of excellence that you will invest in the lives of our students this year. Again, I say welcome and thank you for helping us to continue our district's rich traditions and history. And we know that none of our success happens by accident. It takes hard work and selfless dedication. Please know that our Board of Education supports you and is grateful for all that you have done and are going to do this year. Have a great year, and may God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gilmore, very much. It is time for some more prizes, door prizes. Stop that. Okay, here we go. 2 tickets to the Kansas City Chiefs from Amley Creekside. The winner, Jim Dargan, Telecommunications Manager.
And we have the Invest in Tomorrow prize, a $100 savings bond from Security Savings Bank. And the winner is Gustavo custodian at Prairie Center Elementary. We also have the Taste of Olathe package. Gift cards from Granite City, Gimme Some China Grill, Bonefish, Chili's, Atlanta Bread Company, and dinner for two at the Olathe North Culinary Arts Restaurant, Les Arts Culinaires. And to work off all those calories, 10 sessions with a personal trainer from Parsons Training Center. And the winner is Kelsey Anderson, first grade teacher at Manchester Park. I'm sorry, Kelsey Alexander. I would also like to mention, for those of you who didn't go through the Commons on your way in, there are cards in there to register for a Saturn car for a year, and that's courtesy of a very special award you're going to hear about later. And since I'm talking about Saturn, I'd like to introduce a very important dignitary on our stage, Mr. Larry Spots, President of the Olathe NEA.
Now we have a very special treat from some of the youngest members of the school community at Harmony Early Childhood Center. Harmony opened its doors for the first time last year, and in honor of the occasion, Early Childhood Administrator Carol Affolter wrote a song, and we thought Convocation might be a little overwhelming for these 3- and 4-year-olds, so we've captured the children performing on video. Here they are singing "We Are Stars."
Stars, stars, we are stars, shining every day. Stars, stars, we are stars, growing every way. I can clap my hands, I can pat my knees, I can stomp my feet. Look at me. I can wash my face. I can look at books. I can pick up toys. Look at me. Stars, stars, we are stars, shining every day. Stars, stars, we are stars, growing every way. I can clap my hands, I can pat my knees, I can stomp my feet. Look at me. I can wash my face. I can look at books. I can pick up toys. Look at me. Stars, stars, we are stars, shining every day. Stars, stars, we are stars, growing every way.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Well, it would not be Convocation without greetings from one of the Olathe District's greatest friends. Please welcome Mayor Michael Copeland from the city of Olathe.
Thank you, everybody. Good morning. Whoever is in charge of the balloons, I appreciate the black and red. I'm sure it's a tribute to my daughter's school, Meadow Lane Elementary, right? Yeah, thank you so much. It's all about me. It is great to be here for this year's 2007 Olathe School District Convocation. It's a very special time this year because it is Olathe's 150th sesquicentennial. It was 150 years ago that a Virginia physician named John Barton had a vision for this area. He saw the rural landscape and its resources and had a vision for this area. He believed its beauty would bring people here. He named the city Olathe. Beautiful. It's farmland, rolling hills, well, kind of, streams, and valleys, well, kind of. As the years passed, Olathe became a hub for the rural farming community. 150 years later, Olathe is still a hub, but not as it once was. Today, Olathe is a hub for families across the country looking for great schools, parks and trails, safe streets, friendly faces, and an economic climate and that is attracting amenities never before imagined. Olathe has become a hub for national attention as well. In fact, recently twice singled out by Money Magazine as America's hottest place to live and one of the greatest places in the country to be. One of America's hottest towns, I could believe it this week. It's been referred to on the front page of the New York Times as a supernova on the prairie, and I quote, that for some reason has become the place to go in Kansas City. For some reason? Well, we know the reason, don't we? Year after year, our school district has been recognized by national organizations for innovative programs and leadership. We see our teachers singled out as America's best because of their hard work and determination. Their innovation sets them apart. Such innovation has led to the cultivation of leaders that's governed 4 states, flew in space, and served in the United States Senate. Our district's commitment to excellence surely pays big dividends. Just this past Tuesday night, at our city council meeting, I awarded many of our students the city's City of Champion Awards for their academic and athletic successes, from the state champion javelin thrower to national finalists from the spelling and geography bees. But ladies and gentlemen, that focus on quality does not come cheap. Let me talk to you just a minute about some business here. I want to take this time to encourage each of you to study closely the upcoming bond election, just in about 8 weeks now. The bond will pay for school sites and the construction of new schools to deal with our enrollment growth, technology for new schools and existing schools, and maintenance and refurbishing of some existing schools to provide the same high standard learning environment throughout the district. Each year I have the great fortune to read to all the first graders in our 10 Title I schools, including my cousin's school, Central Elementary. Central's in the house. Tomorrow night I'll be participating in the ribbon cutting ceremony for our brand new Madison Place Elementary. We have great, they're here too. We have great diversity in our community, and that is our strength. But we must also have great equity if we are to remain strong. I guess I've said enough on that. Wait, one more thing. I know the tradition of this day. Maybe it's just my tradition, maybe it's just Mike Copeland luck. But I happened to show up at lunch to some restaurant on this Friday, and I happened to get there just after dozens and dozens of you have already gotten on the waiting list for that restaurant. So I would ask this one favor. If anyone is expecting to go to Oklahoma Joe's today for lunch, please wait till 11:35. Thank you, have a great school year and a great lunch.
Thank you, Mayor Copeland, very much. Time for some more door prizes, so Laura Lee, let's go. First we have a $200 savings bond, the Invest in a Tank of Gas prize from Hillcrest Bank. The winner, Margaret Botipka, paraeducator at Oregon Trail Junior High. Congratulations. Next is the Invest in Wellness and Get Organized package. A 3-month family pass to the YMCA of Olathe, which is great, a Padfolio USB drive and pens from Davidson Promotional Products, a Brothers personal labeler from Prudential Financial, and a massage. What I have learned so far is they're all hungry and aching. A massage and microderm abrasion.
We know how to live.
I'd go in for one of those and there'd be nothing left. Just be a little pile of dead skin sitting here. I want you to say dead skin again in sign language. Thank you very much. I enjoyed that. All right, the winner of this wonderful package is Kevin Bosworth, science teacher at Olathe East High School.
Okay, next is the Pamper Yourself package. By the way, I gave that last one to Joel because it was such a tongue twister. I thought he did a good job. The Pamper Yourself package, which includes a $100 Visa gift card from Commerce Banks of Olathe, 10 sessions with a personal trainer at Parsons Training Center, a massage and microdermabrasion from Covenant Skincare, a pedicure, and a bouquet of flowers from Second Nature Design. And the winner is Katie Aronson, instructional aide at Pleasant Ridge.
Now, and don't forget, you get the Culvers and the Chipotle certificates at the same time, so pretty good. Now, before we get back to our program, let's take a moment and thank Dr. Gwen Poss, the principal of Olathe Northwest High School, Claude Huffman, the lead custodian, Scott Kingery, and Jamie Sokup in Food Services for everything they've done to make this day so special. Well, we've got more special things coming up right now. We have a very talented young lady, a 6th grader at Rolling Ridge Elementary School last year. Be going into 7th grade at Oregon Trail this fall. She loves singing, she loves art and basketball and math. She wants to be a teacher. This is, right here to sing Unwritten, Sydney Serpan.
Beginning, the pen's in my hand, ending unplanned, staring at the blank page before you. Open up the dirty window, let the sun illuminate the words that you cannot find, reaching for something in the distance, so close you can almost taste it. Release your inhibitions, feel the rain on your skin. No one else can feel it for you. Only you can let it in. No one else can speak the words on your lips. Treat yourself in words unspoken. Live your life with eyes wide open. Today is where your book begins. The rest is still unwritten. Yeah. I break tradition. Sometimes my tries are outside the lines. We've been conditioned to not make mistakes, but I can't live that way, no. Staring at the blank page before you. Open up the dirty window, let the sun illuminate the words that you cannot find, reaching for something in the distance, so close you can almost taste it. Release your inhibitions, feel the rain on your skin. No one else can feel it for you, only you can let it in. No one else can speak the words on your lips. Treat yourself in words unspoken. Live your life with arms wide open. Today is where your book begins. No one else can feel it for you, only you can let it in. No one else can speak the words on your lips. Treat yourself in words unspoken. Live your life with arms wide open. Today is where your book begins. The rest is still staring at the blank page before you. Open up the dirty window, let the sun illuminate the ones that you cannot find, reaching for something in the distance, so close you can almost taste it. Release your inhibitions. Feel the rain on your skin. No one else can feel it for you, only you can let it in. No one else can speak the words on your lips. Treat yourself in words unspoken. Live your life with arms wide open. Today is where your book begins. No one else can feel it for you, only you can let it in. No one else can speak the words on your lips. Treat yourself in words unspoken. Live your life with arms wide open. Today is where your book begins. The rest is still under time.
you, Sydney, very much. That was beautiful. Well, the city of Lenexa covers about 25% of the Olathe School District, and so it's only right that we should hear from the Lenexa mayor, Mike Boehm, who is a 72 graduate of Meadow Lane Elementary School, also graduated from Santa Fe Trail in 1975, and from Olathe High School class of 1978. Please welcome Mayor Mike Boehm.
Good morning. We can do better than that. Good morning. Thank you. It's my pleasure to be here this morning to bring greetings from the city of Lenexa, our residents, and our business community, and wish you a terrific school year, 2007-2008. The politician in me tells me to stand up here, read off school names, give away prizes, accept the applause, and sit back down. I, too, have noticed where the biggest applauses have come from. I feel very comfortable here before you today with Mayor Copeland on my left, Mayor Myers up there in the darkness somewhere. I saw him earlier on my right. It is truly a pleasure to work with these two gentlemen every day of the year promoting our communities here in Johnson County. As Joel said, I am a graduate of Meadow Lane, Santa Fe, and what was then Olathe High School. Okay, I'm on to something here. The big schools, Olathe South, Olathe East, Olathe Northwest. Okay, you just weren't around yet when I was here way back in 1978. We'll be having our 30-year class reunion next summer for my graduating class. I can't believe how fast the time has gone. I wanted to reflect a little bit about my time at the Olathe District. I remember in 1966, about this time, a scrawny little 6-year-old getting on a bus and riding for an hour from about K7 and 95th over here to to Meadow Lane Elementary. And yes, as you snaked your way around rural Johnson County at the time, it took an hour to go those 2.5 miles. I was excited for the day ahead. I was terrified. We didn't have preschool, daycare, pre-K, kindergarten when I entered the elementary school. So the first day of first grade was truly a big deal and a terrifying moment. But I also remember the calming effect that Miss Hilliard had when I entered the classroom. And of course, that was my first crush. 20-some years later, when I ran into Miss Hilliard in Lenexa at Holy Trinity, I learned that it really was Mrs. Hilliard, and there was this guy named Jim that had spent the last 20-some years with my sweetheart, my first grade teacher. Imagine the disappointment. Thank goodness I was in my 20s and could handle it. But I want you to know, Miss Hilliard, Miss Kotzer, Miss Miller, I had 2 teachers in 2nd grade. I wasn't bad, but we had a situation where my teacher left midstream. Mrs. Chavez, Mrs. March, Mrs. Hook, Mr. Cohue. I can name the teachers from elementary school. It gets a little tougher when you get to Santa Fe, because if I had my schedule, I could give you all the names, and the high school. But they did truly have a lasting impact on me and my life, as you do every day. And as we turn our young people over to you here starting next week to begin another school year, remember that. 30 years ago, I entered these schools here in Olathe, and I still remember all of their names. I can't tell you who the governor of Kansas was in 1966. Without doing some math on my fingers and thinking back, I'm not sure I could tell you who was president at the time. I do remember my first grade teacher and the lady in the cafeteria and the other teachers that were at Meadow Lane at that time. Those are lasting impacts, and you make those every day. Politicians, parents, teachers, we don't make the most money. I think we make good livings, but I'm not sure, the more I reflect on it, that we want those people to be choosing these careers for the money. We want those who care enough about their profession and the students to be entering the profession of teaching. And I know that's what we have here in the Olathe District, and we're very proud of all of you for what you do for our young people. You do hold the future of our country and our communities in your hands every day. So have a great year, congratulations, and thanks for allowing me to be here today.
Thank you, Mayor Boehm, very much. Our next performers are from Havencroft Elementary, students who were in the 4th, 5th, and 6th grade last year under the direction of Ms. Denise Trawicki, and they will be singing Think and also Never Stop Learning. Please welcome Havencroft Elementary Special Chorus.
Never stop learning, never stop growing, never stop seeking the brightest star, never stop moving from where you are.
Never stop trying, never stop reaching, never stop doing what you can do. Keep yourself growing your whole life through.
Children are the only ones who should learn.
you so much. That was wonderful. Hey, it's time for some more door prizes now. We have the grand prizes of Convocation 2007. First, the T-Bones Metro package, which includes a 4-pack of tickets to the August 15th T-Bones game, 10 T-Bones t-shirts, a $25 Lowe's gift card, a $10 Barnes & Noble gift card, a $10 Panera gift card, 1 collapsible cooler, all donated by Community America Credit Union. Now, the winner of this wonderful package is Mary Hyman, the Administrative Secretary at Meadow Lane Elementary.
And for our final grand prize, a weekend getaway. One night at the Anchor Inn on the lake, bed and breakfast in Branson from Dee and Mike Berry, a free weekend rental of the Ford Edge to take you there, courtesy of Olathe Ford, a $100 Quick Trip gas card, and a $100 Visa gift card from Commerce Banks of Olathe. And our final winner is David Sasser, Assistant Principal at Indian Trail.
Congratulations to all the winners today. Now, our next speaker has a special gift for speech and debate and communications, and debate is something very important in our household. Our older sons have both been active in debate, and one of them in particular has done very well, and whatever made me think it was a good idea to teach a teenager to be more argumentative, I don't know. Or to be that good at it. I don't understand why he had to be that good at it either. My son, who's very good at it, his name is Taylor, and ever since he was little, he knew how to take an argument or a situation and turn on a dime. When he was about 2 years old, his older brother Alex was 3, and we walked into this hallway, and Taylor had drawn this beautiful picture all over the wall. It was beautiful, a lot of color, bright, vibrant colors and everything, and I guess if we were good, self-esteem parents, we would have encouraged him, but we didn't. And he was saying, look at this, look. And we said, that's horrible. Why did you do this? That's a mistake. You shouldn't have done it. You're naughty. And he went, Alex did it. So he was primed for debate. Our next speaker is also primed for speech and debate and communications. He represents one in a long line of award-winning teachers from the Olathe School District. Josh Anderson is the speech, debate, and language arts teacher at Olathe Northwest High School, the 2007 Kansas Teacher of the Year, one of 4 finalists for the National Teacher of the Year. He's been teaching for 10 years, the last 4 here at Olathe Northwest. His debate team recently won the 2007 6A State Debate Championships, and Josh was named 2007 Kansas Debate Coach of the Year as well. In May of 2007, each of his senior debaters was accepted to highly recognized schools, including Harvard, Yale, Georgetown, and Princeton. Please welcome Mr. Josh Anderson, 2007 Kansas Teacher of the Year.
Good morning and welcome back to another fantastic school year. Listen, I want to take a moment by beginning to talk just to our new teachers and tell you that on behalf of all of us here in the Olathe District Schools, we're so delighted that you've joined our family. We're here to help you and we will support you. Now, I also know, new teachers, that we put you through a fairly rigorous new teacher induction program that is designed primarily as a test of your sanity. But I also know that in just a few years, you will be hoping, as all of us do, that when you die, it will be during an in-service because the transition between life and death will be so very subtle. That's true. That's true. Now, I also want to take a moment and I want to thank our superintendent, Dr. All, and my principal, Dr. Poss, for all their work in helping me in the transition and on my journey as Kansas Teacher of the Year. I'll tell you what, these two wonderful people have done such a great job in providing the support and resources necessary to transform really an ugly duckling, a diamond in the rough, into an articulate and charismatic, handsome, dare I say sexy. No, hey, these are their words, not mine. Now, I do have to confess that the title of my speech is not actually the 3 R's, as you see printed in the program. Now, that really was the title of the speech about 12 drafts ago, until they told me that I had only 10 minutes to speak, which really changes everything. So, for those of you playing along at home, I will tell you that the new title of this speech is How to Save Education in 10 Minutes. So, fair enough. But really, I would like to speak to you today on a topic of great significance. In February of 2007, the U.S. Department of Education released the nation's report card, our most recent summary of our nation's achievements on assessments. The results are not good. Only 35% of our nation's graduates have proficiency in reading. 23% have proficiency in math. And only 18% of our nation's graduates have proficiency in science. Even worse are the international scores. American children rank 16th out of 30 industrialized nations in reading literacy, 20th in science literacy, and 25th out of 30 nations in math literacy. Now, I used to comfort myself with the knowledge that we test 100% of our students, but India and China only test their honor students. And while that's true, it's also true that we need to recognize that India and China each have more students in their top 10% than we have in all of our 100%. In other words, they have more honors kids than we have kids. As such international comparisons become important when we realize that right now, labor statistics show that more than 75% of Fortune 500 companies are in the process of shifting their labor needs to the other side of the globe at a labor savings of 39%. Now that's fine as long as the jobs that are being transferred are low-skill, low-wage jobs, but that is simply not the case. As we read in the Tough Choices or Tough Times report, we see that America this year will produce 60,000 high-quality engineers. But by contrast, India and China will produce 135,000 engineers, more than twice as many as us. Our engineers will demand a starting salary of $45,000. Theirs will demand a starting salary of $7,500. It is becoming increasingly harder and harder for our best and brightest students to compete on the global scale. But the problem isn't just limited to overseas outsourcing. The problem is automation as well, especially the automation of high-skilled labor. Consider, for example, the Wall Street traders in New York being replaced overnight by online trading robots like E-Trade. And so my message to you this morning is clear. A child's ability to succeed in the 21st century will require him or her to possess and employ talents, advanced skills like innovation, creativity, and design, skills that cannot be replicated overseas or by a machine. So we must ask ourselves how well we as a nation are doing at preparing our students with these advanced skills. And a closer look at the nation's report card tells us how serious this crisis has become. Only 5% of our nation's graduates last year had advanced reading skills. 2% had advanced math skills, and 2% had advanced science skills. These are our nation's worst scores in 20 years. In our ever-maddening quest to leave no child behind academically, it seems that we have left ourselves behind globally and economically. We have become a nation at risk. We have become a nation at risk of an addiction to the teaching and testing of basic skills. A nation of teachers who are asked not to prepare our children for their future as citizens, but to prepare them for our future as schools. Schools that need AYP, schools that need banners for their cafeteria, and schools that need good test scores for the local paper. Now that may sound harsh, but I have stood in too many Kansas schools this year that have already eliminated programs in music, art, special education, science, humanities, and other programs in order to redirect human, financial, and physical resources to these high-stakes tests. In reality, they are jettisoning the very cargo that will save our nation. The arts and the sciences are the real-world playgrounds of math and reading and can never be sacrificed in the name of adequate yearly progress. That is why I hope you will join me today in steadfastly refusing to sacrifice the teaching of advanced skills in exchange for federal funding. We must continue to find new ways to ensure that every child in our school graduates with basic and advanced skills that will be so critical for his or her success. And if we say that it is too difficult, too impossible, or too challenging for us to do this, then I need to tell you about Danny. Danny was a student in my debate and forensics program several years ago. And in the final round of the state speech championship, Danny shared a story of his from first grade about a classmate with a speech impediment so severe that few, if anybody, could understand anything this child said. And as you can imagine, it became the daily routine of this child's classmates to tease, taunt, punch, hit, kick, or even worse, ignore this child. Any defense this child may have made became a cacophonous and heartbreaking string of sputters and spurts that always ended in tears. And the teacher? I'm sorry to report that the teacher was the biggest bully of them all. He even had a name for this child, Pokey. Quit crying, Pokey. You're embarrassing yourself, Pokey. Get up off the floor, Pokey. We can't understand you, Pokey. And as Danny continued in his speech and continued to share all the facts and figures you might expect to hear on bullying and teasing, he rhetorically asked near the end of the speech, whatever happened to Pokey? As his finger slowly rose to his chest. Danny was Pokey. And Pokey grew up to be a 3-time state speech champion. And Pokey grew up to be the national college debate champion. And now, Pokey works in the United States House of Representatives. It took more than years of speech therapy and a dedicated teacher for Danny to have a better vision for himself. It required a better vision for a better future, an unwavering belief in his ability to say, yes, I can, when everyone around him said, no, you can't. Let us be clear that we here in the Olathe District Schools choose to say, yes, we can, in a nation that says, no, you can't. I believe that Olathe far surpasses, yes. I believe that Olathe far surpasses much of what the rest of the nation does in order to prepare our children for their future. We have the power to make the difference, but we also have the power and the responsibility to share our knowledge with those communities who struggle to provide basic resources for their children. We do so not because it makes us a better district, but because it makes us a better nation. It has been said that everything that America is or ever hopes to be begins with what happens in our nation's classrooms. And I say to you today that it begins here in Olathe. And our efforts have not gone unnoticed. In a recent issue of the School Administrator magazine, Dr. Paul Houston, Executive Director of the American Association of School Administrators, wrote that, quote, those who want to reform schools should start in places like Olathe, where the district has figured out that the best way to get students to learn more is to give them work that engages their imaginations and creates meaning for them. And I applaud all of you who have created those engaging and meaningful classrooms that truly prepare students for their future. I also applaud Dr. All and the entire administrative team, as well as our Board of Education, for working so unceasingly hard to ensure that our schools have the resources and opportunities to transcend basic skills and make public education in Olathe meaningful and engaging for every child. Now, this has been an amazing year for me. I've had the opportunity to meet Presidents Clinton and Bush and Senators Brownback and Roberts, and I've co-authored newspaper editorials with Governor Sebelius. I've even stood in the White House Rose Garden with Education Secretary Margaret Spellings and told her about the time that I was forcibly removed by Homeland Security. This is a true story. Forcibly removed by Homeland Security from the U.S. Department of Education building for trying to eat in the cafeteria. Now, true story. Now, I've also had the honor to eat in the U.S. Department of Education cafeteria as a personal guest of Margaret Spellings. But I will tell you that the most deeply rewarding opportunity I've had to represent you as Kansas Teacher of the Year is the chance to meet so many wonderful and dedicated teachers across the state. I've said from the beginning that my selection for this honor is not because I work harder or teach better, but so that I can speak on behalf of all of you who have worked harder and teach better than I ever could. I also say that because the selection process is primarily based on weight and raw sex appeal. Now, if you will excuse me, I've been on sabbatical for the last 9 months and out of the classroom, and I have learned that the only thing I love more than talking about teaching is teaching. So I've got some teaching to do, and so do you. Here's to a great year and many more to come. Thank you.
Thank you, Josh, very much. Josh is a tough act to follow, and so we're going to take some time now to reflect on Josh's remarks. We'll watch this year's staff appreciation video right there. Okay, just to keep the energy up and the excitement going, we have some very special performers right up here in front. The Cardinal Drummers from Countryside Elementary, directed by Corbin Trimble, and the Olathe East Percussion Ensemble, directed by Jeff Smeichel, as they perform The Approach. Countryside Cardinals and the Olathe East Drummers. Let's hear it for them. Thank you very, very much. That was terrific. Well, we're going to kind of shift gears a little bit here and quiet things down, something a little more serious.
Oh, excuse me, Joel.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to interrupt,
Sure.
but we have a little surprise for you today.
That's never a good thing.
We've been watching that program called Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? And
This can go nowhere but down, you know what I'm saying?
we thought it might be fun to do our own version. Won't that be fun?
Oh, sure.
Let's
I
take
could be
a
having a
little,
root canal right now.
Let's take a little look.
Better.
Are you smarter than a Channel 9 weatherman? Weatherman, can you out-predict the best predictor in all of the land? Are you smarter than a Channel 9 weatherman? Weatherman, are you stronger than, faster than, cuter than a weatherman? Are you smarter than a Channel 9 weatherman? Weatherman.
I want to know how you got the video of me on just an average Saturday night there a moment ago.
We got that from your kids.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, now we're going to ask you some questions that probably everybody would know the answers to, so this should be no problem for you.
Nothing to it.
But to just give you a little friendly competition, we've invited two very special people. They're with us today. These are typical students of our district. Miss Kavya Shiva Shankar. And Mr. Sunil Iyer. And I want to tell you a little about them. Kavya, as you may know, tied for 8th place in the 2007 Scripps National Spelling Bee. Everybody please welcome Kavya. Kavya was one of the top finalists this year who got to go to the White House to meet the First Lady. She was also the youngest finalist at the National Spelling Bee for 2 years in a row. She'll be in the 7th grade at California Trail Junior High, and besides spelling, she likes math, Indian dance, ice skating, swimming, and playing the violin. And we also have Mr. Sunil Iyer, who placed 2nd in the National Geographic Geography Bee. That's 2nd place. Sunil was the youngest contestant a year ago when he placed 4th in the National Geography Bee. He'll be in the 8th grade at Indian Trail Junior High. And he hopes to become a marine biologist, a geographer, or a pilot. Now, before we start, just to give you a little sample of the level of your competition, I'm going to ask Kavya, what was the last word you spelled when you placed 8th in the National Spelling Bee?
My word was Silis.
And can you spell it for us?
Silis is spelled C-I-L-I-C-E.
And what is that?
It's called like a hair cloth. It's a garment made out of like hair.
You probably knew that, Joel, didn't you?
I'm wearing one now.
Okay.
So thank you very much.
And Sunil, what was the last question you answered correctly when you placed 2nd in the National Geography Bee?
Okay, it was what country, which is the 2nd largest oil producer in Africa, is also the richest Portuguese-speaking country in Africa?
Joel, you want to take a guess?
I'm wearing it now. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, Sunil, what was the right answer?
The right answer was Angola.
Very good.
Well, I am wearing an Angola sweater, actually, so that worked out fine.
Okay, now Kavya and Sunil are going to stand over here where they will write down their answers, and Joel, you're going to stay over here.
Okay.
And I brought you this smart horn.
Thank you.
And whenever
You know, I seem to recall when Phil Witt did this a couple years ago, you didn't make him go through this, did you?
You're special. Okay, so whenever you think you know the answer, you just click your horn. Okay, are we ready? Is everyone in the audience ready?
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to start with something simple, a warm-up question. I'm thinking of a number between 1 and 1,000.
Is this my credit rating?
What is that number?
No.
Okay, well, it looks like Joel's ready, and Kavya and Sunil, are you about ready with your answers? Okay, Joel, what's your guess?
What is magenta, Alex?
Is that your final guess?
Yeah, magenta.
Audience, are you going along with this? How many people think he's right? A number
you got
between
big
1
problems.
and 1,000. Let's try again.
Okay, 12.
Okay, Kavya and Sunil, let's see what you got. Wow, 467, that's the exact number. Okay, very good.
See, I was actually right, though, because when I do paint by number, 467 is magenta. So I was still correct.
Oh, we'll give you a half a point.
Thank you very much.
Too bad. Maybe you'll do better on the next question. We're going to drop down a couple of grades and ask you a 3rd grade question. Now, this will be just so easy for you,
Sure
Joel.
it will.
What is torricelli? Now, take your time. I'm going to give you 30 seconds to figure this out. Joel's ready, and it looks like Kavya and Sunil have their answer. They're just amazing, aren't they?
Yes.
Joel, would you like to make a guess? What is torricelli?
Yes, I think torricelli is an Italian turtle.
An Italian turtle?
Turtle.
Okay, well,
Or, alternative, a pasta made from an Italian turtle
okay.
would be torricelli.
What does our audience think? Do you agree with Joel? Nope. Sorry, Joel. That's not it. Let's see what our other contestants can do. Well, look at this. They're both right again. Evangelista Torricelli invented the barometer.
I never used one of those, so I don't know.
Okay, Kavya.
If the answer had been invented the dartboard, I would have had a guess. But no.
Kavya, for a bonus point,
All right.
can you spell Torricelli for us?
Yes, Torricelli. Torricelli.
Very good. And Sunil, what country was Torricelli from?
Italy.
That's amazing, isn't it? They're just great, aren't
Yes,
they?
they are.
Okay. Joel, you don't seem to be doing too well.
No, I don't, Laura Lee, do
Okay. For our final
She seems
question.
so, innocent and sweet, and she's a villainous, is what she is.
For our final question, I want you to put on your thinking cap.
Oh, goody. Nice, isn't it?
Now,
What are you laughing at? You just keep moving your hands around and quit laughing at me.
I want you to really concentrate. This is for
Yes.
the grand prize. What do we have for our winner?
Today's lucky grand prize winner will receive a 1-week, all-expenses-paid trip to the Olathe District Schools Education Center located at 143rd and Black Bog. This luxury package includes continental breakfasts courtesy of food services, all-day passes to curriculum planning sessions, and 1/2 day of professional development introducing manipulatives. You and your family will tour the business and finance department, trying your luck at balancing the budget, as well as our human resources department, where you will be personally screened, fingerprinted, and processed.
Okay, let's hear it for the grand prize.
I'm ready.
I'll bet you're really motivated now.
I want to win.
Okay. Now, our final question is about someone very well known. He's been in the media. He has his own television program watched by millions. He's kind of a trendsetter. You know who I'm talking about, don't you? Yes, it's SpongeBob SquarePants.
All right.
Now, here's our question. What color are SpongeBob SquarePants pants?
Okay, let's see here. I should really know this one. I've got 4 kids, and the 3 oldest all worked all summer. They were very industrious young people. They take after their mother. And then the youngest one, who's 11 going on 12, he and I sat in our underwear all summer eating Oreos and watching SpongeBob. So I should really, I'm going to guess, well. I'm going to guess beige. Beige. I'm going with beige there, Bob.
You're paying me back
Alex.
with that horn, aren't you?
Laura Lee.
Okay. Okay. Does our audience agree? No. Okay, Kavya, Sunil, what's your response on this? All right, I see they have beige too, and that would be the correct answer. SpongeBob SquarePants has beige pants. Let's hear it for our 3 winners.
Thank you.
Good job.
And thank you for playing Are You Smarter Than a Channel 9 Weatherman?
Which the answer is yes, obviously.
Faster than, cuter than a weatherman. Are you smarter than a Channel 9 weatherman?
Okay, could we please give a hand to our 2 students for being such good sports? And their parents are in the audience.
Very good. I'm going to continue to wear the hat, just because. We have some more outstanding talent in store right now. I want to introduce Alex Johnson and Molly Wetzel. They're going to sing a duet for us. Alex was a freshman at Frontier Trail last year. He'll be a sophomore at Olathe East this fall. He's been performing since elementary school as a soloist, a dancer for Theater in the Park, Kansas City Symphony, music theater for young people, and many, many other places. Molly will be a junior at Olathe East High School. She participates in Madrigal Choir, Drama Club, dance classes, hopes to eventually major in musical theater. Please welcome Alex and Molly singing Hero.
There's a hero. If you look inside your heart, you won't have to be afraid of what you are.
There's an answer if you reach into your soul, and the sorrow that you know will melt away. And then a hero comes along with the strength to carry on, and you cast your fears aside, and you know you can survive. So when you feel like hope is gone, look inside you and be strong, and you'll finally see the truth that a hero lies in you. It's a long road when you face the world alone. No one reaches out a hand for you to hold. You can find love if you search within yourself, and the emptiness you felt will disappear. And then a hero comes along with the strength to carry on, and you cast your fears aside, and you know you can survive. So when you feel like hope is gone, look inside you and be strong, and you'll finally see the truth that a hero lies in you. Lord knows that dreams are hard to follow, but don't let anyone tear them away. Hold on, there will be tomorrow. In time, you'll find the way. And then a hero comes along with the strength to carry on, and you cast your fears aside, and you know you can survive. So when you feel like hope is gone, look inside you and be strong, and you'll finally see the truth that a hero lies in you. That a hero lies in
Alex Johnson and Molly Wetzel, thank you both so much. Very, very beautiful. Well, we have come to the moment in our convocation that we've all been waiting for. Words of wisdom from our superintendent, Dr. Pat All, who is beginning her 3rd year as superintendent, her 28th year with the district, beginning as a principal at Oregon Trail Junior High, also served as principal at Olathe South before becoming director of secondary education, assistant superintendent, deputy superintendent. Now, please welcome Superintendent Pat All.
First of all, I'd like a warm applause for Laura Baker, her entire team that's helped make this convocation possible. And I also want to thank Joel Nichols for being here today to MC. He's really added and if he promises to come back, I'll try to talk to Laura Lee and make sure we're not so hard on him.
I want another hat.
Be careful what you wish for. I want to thank you for your warm reception today. We've seen the results of investing in excellence with the talent of Sydney Serpin, soloist, most recently Alex and Molly's duet, the Havencroft Special Chorus, our Harmony Early Childhood Center students, the Countryside Cardinal Drummers, and the Olathe East Drummers, our national competitors, Sunil and Kavya, our very own district band directors, Jazz Ensemble, and Carrie Ross, an Olathe North graduate, school resource officer for us, who sang the national anthem. What a way to showcase the excellence of this school district. And I can tell you, as wonderful as the talent was today, there is no doubt in my mind that we will find equally wonderful talent for next year and next year to continue to create the wow factor. That's how much it exists in Olathe. I don't really know what's harder, as I've discussed this with Laura Lee, being assigned to speak first at Convocation or last. It's not easy to follow all of this. Josh, a successful debate coach and teacher who has coached state champions. Kevin Gilmore, my board president. 2 mayors named Mike. And Joel Nichols. I'm also trying to get used to this headset. Can you see it? And it's been bothering me, and I've been adjusting everything related to it. And Josh Anderson, I have an elastic waistband on. It's not easy to have all this weight under here. Josh Anderson, our Kansas Teacher of the Year, when he saw them fit this with me yesterday, said that I looked like I could work in a call center if the superintendency didn't work out. When I told that story to Dr. Banikowski, she said, well, why didn't he think you looked like a rock star? When Ann Cohn saw me, Josh, the first thing she said is, you look like a rock star. So Josh and I are going to have a little chat. I'm thrilled to see all of you here today, and I wish I could personally welcome each and every one of you. We've always invited all of our staff to Convocation, but as some of you know, not all staff is on duty today yet. So this year we took an additional step, and we provided a paid professional day for our part-time staff, our paraeducators, and food service support staff, and other part-time employees, so that they could be here, because being one team in Olathe is so critical to the teaching and learning that goes on every day in our classroom. And even though we talk and even though we know that the most important interaction that occurs is that interaction between that child, whether at Heartland or Harmony, or at any one of our high schools or one of our middle schools, but that teacher does not work in isolation. The resources, the support, all of that that envelops around them is so important to make this the best place to teach and learn in the country. And so we want to thank each and every one of you that are here today that support our schools. I also appreciate our community members who support the Olathe School District, our staff, and our students. Your presence is a tribute to your long-term investment in Olathe's excellence, because again, a school district does not exist separate from the community in which it thrives. This year we get the opportunity to welcome the addition of two new school communities. The first is Madison Place Elementary School. Where are you? They're located in southeast Olathe. They're, I believe, I get lost in the counting, elementary school number 32. And I'd also like to welcome the staff of our new Prairie Learning Center. They're located on the Olathe Northwest campus, providing educational services to students with special emotional and behavioral needs. And PLC is also the new home for Project SOAR, one of our outstanding alternative education programs. That helps prepare our students for the future and keeps them from dropping out of high school. This community should be very proud of its investment in exceptional, excellent learning facilities for all Olathe children, no matter what their individual needs are. And I am so proud and hope that you will go into Prairie Learning Center and see what we've provided in this community for those children and the dedicated staff that teach them. On a personal note, I'd like to acknowledge the presence of my granddaughter, 9-year-old Whitney. I would be in trouble if I didn't. Whitney will be a 4th grader at Clear Creek Elementary School in a neighboring district called DeSoto. Her mother, Angela, is also with us today. Some of you that know me know that my mother's not able to be here because of her health. And my son, Aaron and Shannon, who've been here the last couple of last couple of years, chose not to be here today to protect their vacation time because, as some of you know, they're in the process of adopting my grandson from Russia. And I had the opportunity in June to go with them to southern Siberia to meet Gavin Victor. And they have to make a second trip back later this month to bring him home to us. And along with that blessing, as my daughter-in-law returned to the States, who had been sick every day while we were gone, found out that she's also pregnant. So you can see we're truly blessed. My family has been, and we're thrilled and overwhelmed with that. And I know each of you have your own individual blessings that you share with each other, and I hope that you have indulged me in sharing mine with you. Even though we have a new 2007 Convocations theme, Invest in Excellence, as I said last year, just because we have a new theme doesn't mean we forget about the previous ones. Even as we build yearly on our experiences, we can also build on each theme and integrate those into our daily practices. Our personal best is needed each and every day because that's what we need from our students. And so we have to continue to model that and do that. Last year, we talked about daring to dream. And that was our challenge, to make sure that we created that excellent, engaging educational experience that I think Josh was talking about in his speech. But if we dare to dream, then we must invest in excellence to teach and sustain those, to reach and to sustain those dreams for our children. And so those are how I've kind of tied them together in my thinking. Often when we think about the word invest, we first think of investing financially, and that's important, but it's a lot more than that. We also can invest our time, our talents, and even our hearts in order to achieve the excellence that our children deserve. To invest in something means we have to care about it, and to care whether it's successful or not. When I began my teaching career, as actually 88 of you are doing this year, I had no idea how long that investment would be. What's interesting about the concept of investment is that you have to make a decision to invest and what you're going to invest in. But if you're going to reach your goal, you have to keep making that decision to continue that investment over and over and over again, or we won't reach the goal. For some of us, our investment in education is just beginning this year. For others, it's been going on for decades. I'm not sure when you made your decision, whether you're a community member, a support staff member, or a teacher to invest in education. I did, I think, in 1968 when I began my first teaching experience. I don't even want to ask you, I don't want you to tell me how many of you were not even born in 1968. Although I'm only beginning my 3rd year as superintendent, I'm beginning my 40th year in education. Yes, that's my 40th year. I learned how to do this from Josh. And I think I'm beginning my 29th year in Olathe, not my 28th. But that's the problem when you get old. The years run together, and you have to go back and actually list them out one by one. But I think the ever-accumulating number of years has helped me reflect on what it means to invest for the long haul. Most of us don't invest very much of ourselves or resources if we think it's temporary. Investing also means that if we're to reach our financial goal or any goal, there has to be a plan to sustain it. So what does it mean to invest in excellence the Olathe way? Well, it can mean outstanding teachers and staff like Josh Anderson. It means the commitment of elected board members to invest their time and leadership for the long term. It means staff participating in collaborative partnerships like our professional council and our classified staff advisory council. It can mean partnering with higher education and the business community to create innovative programs that were mentioned by others earlier and services that enhance excellence here in Olathe. One recent example that invests in excellence the Olathe way is the new partnership between the Olathe District Schools Special Education Services and Mid-America Nazarene University. It is called Access on Campus. These are Olathe students with special needs who are 18 to 21 years old and still the Olathe School District's responsibility, precious responsibility, to continue their education. And they have mild to moderate developmental delays. Well, Mid-America has opened its doors this fall and provided space for this program so that our students in this age range with these needs can actually continue their education on a college campus along with their peers. In talking to Dr. Ed Robinson, and today president of MNU, and also Dwight Douglas, who is with MNU, is here today representing Dr. Robinson, the mutual benefits are many. For MNU, which is an institution that prepares many of our teachers, these students will help them test their skills, and learn the compassion and flexibility and strategic instructional strategies that they need. But for our students, MNU provides the opportunity to interact and learn in a campus community just like anyone else. That's investing in excellence the Olathe way. The creation of the Olathe Miracle League. Now, these are small, focused programs, but they mean much more. Is yet another example of investing in excellence the Olathe way. The project partners with the Olathe School District, the Olathe Medical Center, Strickland Construction, MNU again, City of Olathe, and others to build a special baseball field at CBAC, our district activity center, so children in wheelchairs and other significant health issues can play baseball like every other child. Not only can they play baseball, but they can play it at the same place their peers do. And their parents can watch them play ball like other parents watch their children play ball at ODAC or CDAC in a facilities designed for youth sports and activities. Olathe School District's Board of Education is providing that facility for this program. The city of Olathe is going to operate it. The private entities involved are going to help raise the money to fund the ongoing costs. This is what it means to partner. This is what it means to invest in excellence the Olathe way. These kinds of innovative initiatives require a commitment to excellence, but also require individuals and entities to invest their time, resources, talents, and their hearts. We have the capacity in Olathe to take what is good and make it great. Investing in excellence the Olathe way means implementing model programs. It means we walk the talk when we say that we invest in quality teachers. Most recently, the Olathe District Schools and the Olathe NEA received the Saturn UAW Award from NEA. We are one of only 6 districts in the nation to receive this award for our collaborative partnership for our new teacher induction program. And by the way, Josh's joke, Dr. B, was not referring to this program. This program begins investing in our new teachers prior to the beginning of the school year. Our new staff have been here 3 days before our regular staff, and it sustains that investment throughout the year with coaching and mentoring and opportunities for increasing skills and graduate work, because we want every teacher prepared for the first day of school for our children, but we want to keep them in the profession. This award is designed to recognize partnerships that prepare and retain excellent teachers in our nation's classrooms. On stage, I would like to introduce Larry Spotts, president of OEA, and Ben Savada, who is here representing Saturn, and they have a trophy to present to the Olathe School District. Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to give this back to you. I'm going to hold this for a few seconds and then give it back to Larry Spotts. We receive a lot of awards every year, and there are too many to name here. But this is a representative award of how long it takes to make these things happen, to achieve excellence and quality. And we appreciate our working relationship with our Teachers Association, with our teachers, with our administration, because it takes all of us as a team to make this happen for kids. Thank you. Josh referenced the changing world and the workforce challenges in his speech. And I want you to think about the young people on stage today and what it would mean if every student had a connection to music or design or theater or the arts. What if every student was challenged to pursue creativity and problem solving? What if every student got an opportunity to be mentored with a youth friend? What if every student focused as hard on a topic with dedication and support from their family and staff as Sunil and Kavya? Wouldn't that be investing in Olathe, in excellence, the Olathe way? Tobias Wilson, an Olathe North student who speaks about being a victor, not a victim, took advantage of the AVID program at Olathe North to access advanced placement classes, overcoming a lot of challenges, working with a dedicated staff that cared about him but set high expectations. As a result of the staff's support and his focus and investment of his time, Tobias was invited to attend the United World College USA in Albuquerque, New Mexico for 2 years. It's a scholarship high school sponsored by many international philanthropic groups and supported by Nelson Mandela to develop strong political leadership skills among minority students around the world. Olathe invested in Tobias the Olathe way. Recently, I received an email from Tyler Youthon, who graduated from Olathe South in 1991. I was his principal. That's why he wrote me. Tyler is now a K-12 science administrator in San Antonio. He wrote that he has been in education since 1999 and looks back at his time at Olathe South with great fondness. His words, "The atmosphere at South was warm and protective, and it gave many of us the security we needed to grow and explore as young adults. I know that my time there inspired me to have the kind of impact on children that the experience of South had on me. I want you to know that your effort and heart had a long-term effect on me, and it is now passed on to other teachers and students." That is investing in excellence the Olathe way. This spring, I received a letter from Christy Atkinson, a parent and paraeducator at Rolling Ridge Elementary. Christy wrote about the extraordinary group of employees at Rolling Ridge and how they've made a difference in her daughter's life. She cited 15 different staff members by name that impacted her daughter's life in 1 year. She wrote how grateful she was for their compassion, flexibility, and dedication. There was no doubt that each of these educators and support staff were investing in her daughter. Rolling Ridge was investing in excellence the Olathe way. Investing in excellence is the theme of our bond information, and I really appreciate Mayor Copeland for bringing that up. The proposed bond will enhance learning conditions for many as well as address our ever ongoing growth needs. Our Board of Education, staff, and community have spent many hours studying the needs of this district to make sure that we invest in all of our students and all of our school communities. The board recently passed a second resolution that will appear as a second question on the ballot to ask the voters for authority to increase the local option budget from 30% to 1% more. This second question provides the board with flexibility for planning for the ongoing operations of the school district that include continued investments in our teachers and support staffs. Each of these questions deserve your study and understanding. The proposed bond would pay for school sites and construction of new schools to deal with our enrollment growth over 2,000 in the last 2 years and continued growth expected for 25 or 30 more. This would include a new junior high, 2 elementary schools, and additions to a large California Trail Junior High, Indian Creek that needs space, Countryside that needs space, Havencroft, and Manchester Park. The proposed bond would provide maintenance and refurbishing of our existing schools to provide the same high standard of learning environment throughout the districts. Schools included in this are Heartland Early Childhood Center, Central, Ridgeview, Washington. Many existing schools such as Westview, Northview, Fairview, Meadow Lane, and others will be updated with energy-efficient windows and lighting, new flooring. And Olathe North would have a renovated entrance that reflects the contemporary programs and education at that school. Technology for new and existing schools. The proposed bond will renovate 100% of our existing schools to have the same digital classrooms as those installed in the new schools that we build 1 a year. With this proposal, the district will be able to cover all district buildings with wireless connectivity and bring to scale across the district the level of technology access in every building. We anticipate that this bond proposal, if approved by the voters, would result in a property tax increase of about $2.50 a month, or about $30 a year, for owners of a house valued at about $225,000. So it would vary depending on the property. We know growth is everywhere in Olathe, while at the same time our facilities are growing older and in need of these renovations and appropriate spaces to teach. The task force and our Board of Education recognize the importance of protecting our past investments and in investing in excellence for the future, the Olathe way. If you live in the Olathe School District, you must be registered to vote by September 14th to participate in this election. We appreciate the community's past investment in our schools, in our students, and our quality staff. This investment has produced documented excellent results. We make those personal and professional decisions to invest in finances, in family, in our friends, and in the future intentionally. And I'm asking all of us, as staff and community, to make that intentional decision to invest in our children, in excellence, the Olathe way, to provide for each child and their future. The children come back next week. We hope that you can make that decision to begin to invest in each and every child. And we ask that you invest in excellence, the Olathe way, every day this next year. Our children will appreciate it. Their parents will appreciate it, and so will I. Thank you.
Well, thank you all very much for a successful convocation. Have a wonderful school year and enjoy the rest of your day. Take care.